Going, everybody? Team Writer here. It's me and the movie writer AJ.
Guys,
This way. And today we're here with Marcosatsu and TheNextDecade. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
And this is day 2 of Heisei week. Today we are talking about Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, and Den-O.
Nice.
So it should be a very fun day. Before we get started, just to remind everybody, we do have live streams going on every week.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay, who was on our stream yesterday, for doing all these awesome photographs of the SHFs. So
great work.
So we have some of these awesome graphics. But yeah, we'll be here all week. The schedule is on bluefinbrands.com, so you can find it there. Also, we do have our sale going on, and we do have things like this, the acrylics that I know a lot of people have been wanting. Just so you guys know, a lot of these are moving pretty quickly, and we did not get a large amount. So please do not, don't regret it not getting it. Please don't do it.
Yeah, like as that acrylic would look really great over there.
And as you see, it's pretty thick. Like these are substantial items. So definitely make sure you get your hands on one of these.
I was watching you guys' video of the hands-on with those, and I was really surprised by how thick they are. I think those are neat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like, I could in the zombie apocalypse, I could throw these. And then, of course, guys, like we've been talking about all week, we have launched our first ever Kamen Rider apparel shop, where you can get T-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts. This is a first for America. These are P Bondi designs that they've let us use that allow us to have shirts in whatever size, whatever color. And like here, let's do a different rider today. Let's go with the first rider I ever watched, Kamen Rider Build. Ooh. So you can get Build in a multitude of different colors, however you want, in men or women sizes, and of course, as I am a larger American, 3X is greatly appreciated. So, oh, snap. I just know something. So, guys, update. On Monday, when we were doing this, the shipping said August. And as I told you,
did they change now?
As Amazon recovered from the whole COVID-19 thing, it would get better. The current delivery date says the 15th of July.
Oh, what?
That's next week?
Wow.
Next week.
So everyone place your orders.
So now what I have to check after this is, because I put in an order for 8 shirts. I want to know, hey, am I getting my shipping updated?
No, yours is still in August.
Yeah. They're like, no, actually, David, just yours are for August. But yeah, okay, so guys, it's good news. Shipping has updated, so definitely go on there, show us, show the shirt some love, and we might talk about it a little bit later in the week, but the response so far has been great, and I may have pulled another rabbit out of my hat in terms of additional stuff. So keep supporting it. They're seeing this in real time, guys. They're seeing this in real time.
That's awesome.
Thank you, David.
Cool.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have blessed all of you. No, I'm really doing it. I'm really just doing it because I would like 3X shirts. Yeah, guys. So definitely check all that stuff out. We really appreciate the support so far. Has been fantastic, and in Japan side, they are definitely seeing this and they are appreciating it. So keep up the good work. But now let's get on to talking about some Kamen Riders. We're gonna start, of course, with Blade. So let's start with you, Marco. What is important about Blade that people need to know? And of course, out of respect for all the new people, which is who the target of all these streams are, people who haven't gotten into Rider yet, let's not spoil it too much.
Okay, well, Blade, the titular character, Kamen Rider Blade, worked for a company or a board where they fight these undead. They can only get trapped into cards. And the interesting part about it is that it's very character driven, but the drama is still there, if that makes any sense. It's still in the forefront. And the characters that drive the drama, it's very interesting to see these different personalities interact, like Kamen Rider Blade interacting with these other writers too. And then when you find out certain secrets I can't say here, then the story just keeps going and going and going. And then it gives you the best ending, don't at me, in Kamen Rider history. It's so interesting to see how far the drama goes with Blade.
Awesome. And Justin, what are your thoughts on the importance of Blade?
Y'all like 52 pickup? Blade's kind of like 52 pickup. It's a slow build, but like each time you pick up a card or go through a new episode, something more and more exciting starts building up, and you start to get more and more intrigued with each episode. Blade has some of the most like beautiful suits too. So like it's one of those shows that also exhibits a great example of how Kamen Rider can have multiple different riders that are all good guys, but they all have different goals. But ultimately, will lead up to the final same goal. And Blade's a great example of that in a Rider series. I really like Blade a lot.
Nice. And AJ, anything you want to say? Because I know you also watch Blade, so.
I think that's said it right. Like, I do like the suits a lot too. I also I think from the early point on, a lot of the environment has changed in terms of like scenery, and it's always fun whenever we get to new places versus like I've seen this, I've seen that. So Blade was pretty refreshing when I first saw it.
Right. Now, before we get into your favorite parts and some of the other things, I do want to mention we do have a pretty cool, very fun shot that Jay took for us, recreating a very fun scene from Blade that we're going to be posting later today. So I hope you guys just pay attention to it. There'll be no captions on it, so when you see it, hey, have that
caption. Have fun.
Definitely. So, again, without spoiling, what were some of your guys' favorite parts or things from the show?
Every power-up feels like an event, like a big event, and it pushes the drama so far. It either pushes the drama or the characters. And like I said, Blade being so character-driven, the power-ups that Blade himself gets, they feel so well-earned. They feel so developed for him. And then when those power-ups do certain things, aside from making him stronger, it just feels like it just really elevates the show to me with what the characters do, how they find out this stuff, like what surrounds the mystery behind being a Kamen Rider. What does it mean to be a Kamen Rider? And that's what's important to me. That's what I like about Blade. It's so good. And my favorite part probably has to do with the ending again. I can't spoil it, but I can't stress enough like how good the drama reaches its peak with like the final 2 episodes and just the final things that happen. And I could go on forever, but
real quick, guys, I have another update. So shout out to Toku Chris for this about the shirts. He let me know that some have actually started shipping. And I just
David
checked.
Will be in August.
Wait, hold on. I just checked mine. Let me show y'all this. Let's see, it says, hold on, see it. Arriving Thursday. So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be here before the week is over. So if y'all want to order shirts, it's happening right now. Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just thought that was something people want to know. So
no, that's super exciting. Holy crap!
Yeah, that means like everyone will get their shirts before the end of this week.
That's right.
Maybe we'll have it on the last stream. That'd be great.
On the live stream, I want everyone to wear their shirts, and everyone who's watching the movie on Saturday, be wearing your shirts, man. That'd be awesome.
Going off of like what Marco said, we have like even a comment from Facebook that says like they also love the ending from Blade. Yeah. So everyone's pretty much on the same train for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like a unanimous thing when once you get through Blade all the way, like Blade's ending is solid. But when it comes to me, like the things that really stand out to me when it comes to Blade, I really love when each like rider gets introduced in the show, because for that one moment when they show up, it kind of feels like, oh hey, Blade, Garen, I know you're introduced in the first episode, but just step aside. These guys get an episode. This is their thing now. It's just you're good. You got the name of the show. You're good. You're fine. We're gonna watch the Mantis Man over here for a minute do its thing. But the other thing about Blade I really do enjoy though is Garen. Garen's a super interesting character, and I just love that we only see about half of him for majority of the show, sitting behind the wall every single time. Like the other thing about Blade I think so interesting too is the small little pocket of Japanese net culture that surrounded themselves around Blade. They would make little text pictures of Blade like screaming and doing other things. Lots of fun, like almost YouTube poops of stuff from Blade, and I think that's also what made some of the appeal to me to go check out Blade was that how could something that is supposed to be super serious and super dramatic get twisted so hard like this? And I think that's what's cool about Blade is that Blade it's overall not like super chipper fun, but the stuff that people took out of it ended up becoming super chipper and fun. And that's I think that's also part of the fun of Rider too, is the way the fans react to all this stuff.
Right.
We have one comment how they really enjoyed the music from Blade.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dustin on that one.
And guys, if you guys want to throw out any comments or questions for us, let us know. If it doesn't get picked up, it means AJ decided to ignore you. So
sorry, guys.
That's what that means. But awesome. Now, do you guys think that Blade should be somebody's first writer? Would you recommend that?
I'd say so.
That's pretty good.
I'm sorry, I might be the odd one out here, but it kind of depends on like what style you're in for. I think that's what's so unique about Rider as a whole. Like if you want a certain style, like specifically drama and characters together in like this kind of bleak world, I think Blade would be a good start. And I think people would generally enjoy that, but it really depends.
Right. Well,
I can agree with that. Yeah. I was also going to just add on to that too. Is that if you are more partial to the earlier Heisei stuff, Blade's no problem. It fits in that nice early crew. But if you're more used to the newer stuff, where it's a new power up like almost every other week, might not be the one that you're super keen on. But I still think it's one that should be seen. Like we said earlier, that ending is fantastic, and I think again, like the unanimous group saying like y'all should see the ending of Blade. It's something to see.
Right. Well, speaking of things that should be seen, just going to remind everybody that the Garen CSM is available in extraordinarily limited numbers. And as you guys know, these do not there's no reprints every day of this. So if you're interested, I'm just saying, just putting that out
you
there.
You get the whole thing with that too. It's so pretty.
Got me peeking around the corner, looking at my wall, like crying. Oh man.
So awesome. Yeah, we'll drop that photo of Blade and Garen that we talked about later today. I think you guys will appreciate it. So awesome. Before we move on, any other thoughts on Blade before we go to Hibiki?
Well, Dustin brought this up earlier with how the community reaction to Blade is very fun and upbeat. I also want to bring up that Blade is also one of the memeiest seasons out there. Like, if you've seen a Kamen Rider meme, it's most likely from Blade because everything, not everything, but a lot spawned from it. The how they talk, like what they say, the famous Garen peeking out of the wall. That's it's
I like the Tachibana scream is my favorite.
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
Blade, I think Blade's a really good show. It's very good. I won't say anything negative about it, but the ending is definitely worth watching. Like, no matter what you think, I think the ending is definitely very, very much worth waiting for those episodes for.
We got one comment with the Garen scream intensifies, so that's one. It's one.
Awesome. Well, let's go on to our next writer, Kamen Rider Hibiki.
Yes.
So, what I can tell from that enthusiasm. I'm gonna start with Marcos.
It's all on Marcos.
It's all on you. You have the floor, please. Speak on Kamen Rider Hibiki.
Well, it's probably no secret at this point that outside of Amazon's my favorite writer season of all time is Kamen Rider Hibiki. I absolutely love the characters. I adore the suits. The backdrops are beautiful. The fights are gorgeous. Everything's just so good. Like I just had to have these disc animals. That's the toys from Hibiki.
Cool.
They turn to yeah. Like I have the movie set, and these are just really cool. Like I love everything Hibiki. But the thing I love the most about it is how comfortable it is. Like it's more of a slice of life show. Like they're still Kamen Riders, there's still fights, there's still monsters. But
it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's very comfy to watch. So sometimes you can just pop in an episode of Hibiki, and Hibiki tells you like a life lesson. Like maybe Osamu, a character that's hanging around Hibiki. Maybe Osamu is like down at school, and Hibiki says, "Hey, pick your head up. It'll be okay. Just keep training,
Mhm.
and that's just how it is for most of the show, and I absolutely enjoy it. Sorry, and I can gush about it forever, but
Oh, hey, go for it.
Good. That's what you're here for.
I mean, like, don't act like I'm not going to do the same thing on Game Day. Like, it's going to be. I have a 3-hour dissertation planned on the glory of Game. So,
well,
that's the longest stream.
I guess to get some of it out of the way, like to recommend, it's another difficult one because it's the most different season. I would say one of the most different seasons in this whole series.
Especially
It's not
opening scene. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Love
Like-
that opening scene.
you probably wouldn't expect a musical to come out of Kamen.
Yeah, definitely surprised me.
Yeah, it's very different, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. Like, it's not your typical Monster of the Week fare at first. It's so out there for a writer. Like, maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but it's still something you wouldn't expect. If you want something that's not like Heisei Phase 2 or nothing like a Fies or even Blade, then I think Hibiki is just a good show to give a try. Like, give it a couple episodes. Like, it's worth just like sitting down for 20 minutes, 40 minutes and watching those 2 episodes.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, Hibiki, it's kind of like it's like taking a hike in the woods. You get a bunch of fresh air, you get your blood pumping a little bit, you're feeling good after it. Like, yeah, Hibiki's got some really, really good moments in it.
Yeah,
and also some of the most beautiful suits too. That Mezzo,
Yeah, the suits are so different.
Oh,
Yes.
so beautiful, so beautiful.
yeah, I actually wasn't interested in it until I saw that there's going to be a figurized standard for Hibiki. And I love model kits. I'm like, oh, well, now I'm in. Now I know it seems like, you know, because I haven't seen. I've only seen 13 out of the 20 so far. But Hibiki, he's got Taiko sticks. It looks like he plays Taiko. How much of a thing is Taiko in the show?
Quite a bit. His finisher, his belt, is actually a taiko drum. He pulls it right. So actually, the fun thing about Hibiki too is he doesn't transform with the belt. He uses a tuning fork to transform. So the belt is actually relegated to being his finisher. So he takes the belt buckle off, he drops it on the monster he's fighting, and it turns into a big taiko drum. And he pulls out the drumsticks and starts pounding away on him. Actually, one of my favorite episodes from Decade is Hibiki's moment where he's fighting, and it's a huge fun send off to all the Hibiki stuff. So yeah, Hibiki's. I've also wanted to mention those musical weapons. I love those instruments. They are awesome. They're super cool.
Yeah, like
guitar. If they
Donkey.
CSM Donkey guitar that actually can play, holler. I'll be there.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome because I'm actually I'm a drummer, you know, but my brother's also a drummer, but he plays taiko, and so I'm thinking about using Hibiki as getting him into the rider life.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, look, you play taiko, he plays taiko. You know?
Now
you should
start watching
some footage. Sorry, you should show him some footage from Toei Kyoto Studio Park. The Hibiki suit actor they have out there, he actually does the taiko drums, especially for Matsuri. Seeing it in person, it's something else. That he goes ham. Hibiki feels the beat that when that comes around. Cool. It's so cool.
It's interesting you bring up like music type because Hibiki actually has a big focus on that. That's how they train. They practice their instruments and all that. Hibiki using the big taiko drums like that. It's really cool to see. Like you actually see him play those big drums, and that's how he trains. And it's really cool. And you also see like the other Kamen writers like Zanki and Ibuki, they're practicing their instruments like trumpets and guitar, and it's really cool. Like the finishers having the instruments implemented, that's probably one of the coolest things in the whole franchise. I just love that stuff because I'm a musician too, and that's one reason why I love Hibiki because it's how much music is part of it.
I wish I could find more of the DX toys because I really enjoyed Ibuki's or Todoroki's trumpet. Like that whole setup is just. It's a neat toy. I like how it connects to the belt, and I love how it just. I like those. I think Hibiki had a lot of really fun stuff going for it.
Well, you had mentioned the whole theme song with the Zanki guitars.
I'm dead serious. I'll learn how to play guitar more seriously. Like I'd be there for it. Like, oh man.
There seems to be a surgence of instrument playing all of a sudden. What happened?
Kamen Rider. Nice. Now, do you guys think someone should start with Hibiki? Like, would that be a good way to get into it, or is that something that they should get into after they've already, come into writer?
I did say it's different. So having Hibiki as your first show, it wouldn't show you the proper. It wouldn't be like the proper way to show how Kamen Rider really can be. Like it's not a bad way to start, but you would get more out of it if you've seen seasons prior.
Okay.
Right, and I'd have to agree. Like, I really do like Hibiki, and I know some people who have started with it and they're still longtime fans, but I do think it's one where if you have a couple other writer shows under your belt and you just want something a little bit different, it's not a bad way to go.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay. Now we're finally getting to the shows I have finished. Next up, Kamen Rider Kabuto. AJ, you didn't do it. You're fired again. You're fired again.
I'm looking at the questions right here. I gotta make sure we've got some people talking about how they love some of their characters from the past ones. We had like one with Blade, and everyone likes that, and then everyone's like they love the Final Attack Ride that Dustin mentioned also.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's classic. You guys can't beat it. Itself is a beat.
Right.
Sorry, there can only be one.
So let's talk about Kabuto. I'll start with you this time, Dustin. What do you think makes Kabuto important to Kamen Rider as a whole?
So Kamen Rider Kabuto, it's the 35th anniversary series for Kamen Rider. So they really went all out for it. The costumes are absolutely gorgeous. The designs overall are just stellar, and the story, it's one where you get attached to one or two characters very early on, whether it be Tendo, who is Kamen Rider Kabuto, or Kagami, who is eventually Kamen Rider Attack. And you either attach to Tendo because of how perfect he is and how he just doesn't seem to make any mistakes and is just always on top of everything and is always there to hit you with a grandma quote. And then there's Kagami, who's he's Kagami. You gotta like him. He's funny, at least. He's a dude. But
the thing I love about Kabuto from the jump is whenever he would do a grandma quote, like the music would change. Watch on one set, and the music gets all soft, and everyone would just wait for him to finish. That was the crazy part.
They had to hear what grandma had to say.
Kagami will be like on the ground. He hears them do the grandma quote, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Just like so confused. Like, and then sure enough, pulls out the belt, transforms, and Kabuto's transformation. It's so different than a lot of other riders because he has an alternate form called masked form, where he's all armored up, super hardcore.
Which is
that's the one you have right there. Yeah.
Right here.
And then he finishes the transformation by pulling on the horn of the belt, and it blasts off at super speed, and the horn on the head comes up, and it's just
like an extra attack.
Style. Oh,
I gotta admit, I love when they go cast off, and then I love when he goes 1, 2, 3, right, that kick, and then he just sits there, and then you come to him, and he goes, "Why would you do that?" and kicks you in the face.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
Like every enemy seems to just be like, you know what, his back is turned. Let's get him, and you're like, no, don't do that.
You fools.
Also, another reason why I think a lot of people like Kabuto so much is that it was also the first Rider series shot in full HD. And it definitely shows up. It's super beautiful. And some of the cooler effects in the show, it's all super speed based. So they have this feature called Clock Up, where they start moving really fast. And nothing's more fun than seeing a Kamen Rider blasting through a bunch of monsters while raindrops are getting smacked across the helmet when they haven't even hit the floor yet. It's like, okay, this is cool. It gets wild. And the suits, too. There are so many different riders in the show, and they're all beautiful. And it all ties up into one of the most fantastic Rider movies near the end. And then the whole finale of Kabuto's good, y'all. Really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was good. And it also makes me really hungry because there's a lot of food in the show. And some of the food subplots, I'm not gonna lie, I would have watched as an entire show. Like I got really invested in some of those subplots.
It'd be nice to get a chef Kamen Rider sometime.
All right. So, Marcos, what do you think about Kabuto?
Kabuto there's a lot to love about it. Like I would just echo a lot of what Dustin said. There's so much to love, but I think what stands out to me are how memorable the characters can be. If it's not Tendo Soji, it's Kagami. If it's not Kagami, it's Daisuke, Kamen Rider Drake, or Kamen Rider Starfire. Every single rider has so much to them, so much depth to them, and and then seeing again these several different writers like clash in personalities, like they do clash a lot, and you see like what they're fighting for, why they're fighting for, and still have like food in the middle of the episode. Like it's still like, what's not to love about it, and plus it's kind of funny too. It's a pretty funny season at times, and then
it really does have its moments, yeah.
Right. One thing I love about Kamen Rider is that it has the ability to take characters that I hate, and by the end of the show, like I love that character. Like Sword, I had a great dislike of this man when I first saw it, and by the end of the show, I was like, "Right here, bro, I got you." Like, you know. But how about you, AJ? Because you were one of the people that got me to watch Kabuto. So, what are your thoughts on it?
I love Kabuto. I think that there's so much going on for it. Like, not only is it like very cool and stylish, but like there's a lot of fun that happens with like all the characters. Like Marcos has said, is that they're all lovable in their own way. Like they're all distinct and different. Especially like Sasori himself. Like we have like a serious character to, you know, I won't spoil that one character for the B, but like, you know, I don't like him personally.
Oh, you mean the Michi prototype?
Oh man.
That'll be in that 4-hour lecture, right?
Yes, that's fine. It's a subsection of my dissertation.
And so, you know, you have all those characters, but like for me, I think the most interesting character, like I had said earlier with us prior to this, was that the sister. Like they literally had just the character. All you're gonna do is just eat the food and enjoy it the whole series. And I'm like, I want that. I want to eat good food.
Right?
Yeah, like every episode, I'm like, man, I know there's like problems happening in this series, and like I'm following the plot, but what's happening with the sister? All she's doing is eating the food. I want some of that.
All right. Yeah. No, dude. There are a few times where when they had like episodes about ramen, where I would legit then go out that night and get ramen.
Get ramen.
I was like, dang, they got, like one of the first episodes was about how to cook mackerel, which is like my favorite fish. I was like, I got so hungry, man. But now I think Kabuto might be a good show to start off with. But what do you guys think?
Dustin?
Yeah, I'd say most definitely. For especially older writer fans like me, like that was one that a lot of people would recommend to start off with. Like Kabuto, it's a great anniversary season because it's not one that just bombards you with nonstop anniversary. Like, oh hey, look at this writer and this writer and this writer. Instead, it's one that recognizes the past but wants to do its own thing and go as all out as it can as being the new Kamen writer. And Kabuto most definitely achieved that in its series. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it is one where I'll say, yeah, it's a pretty easy recommendation. It has memorable characters. It has the drama you would expect from Kamen Rider, but it's also unique on its own. It's very stylish, and it does have substance to go with it. And I think the style carries it a lot, but the substance it does have is very, very worth watching, and it's very, very good.
Nice. And AJ, any thoughts?
No, I think they both said it well. I personally think like Kabuto is one of the early Phase 1 Heisei writers that should be checked out and can be considered your first because of everything it offers. And if it's not the character for Kamen Rider, like maybe again going back, there's food in it, so maybe some of the foodie lovers it'll slowly get them onto the right path.
Right, the path of heaven. Now,
there you go.
In case you guys were interested in getting the figure right standard, it comes with both the outer armor and the regular rider outfit as well, so you can go back and forth. And the rider kick. And the energy effect for the rider kick. So I bought several of these because I have to have one of him in both forms and then one with him cast off. So check it out. This is one of the ones that's going pretty quickly, guys. So
and they all have like stands too, so you could get them to do like a good portion of those poses.
I was gonna say, like, I'm a huge fan of Figure Eyes. Like, even when they started with the way bigger, taller ones, and then they moved over to the smaller scale. These smaller scale ones, like, man, you can put them up next to a figure art, and they feel like they're meant to be in the same place. Like, that's how great this set these model kits are. I love the Figure Art sets, especially that Kabuto one. Kabuto one's good.
Yeah, it comes with a lot for what you spend.
Absolutely,
so it's definitely good. So, all right, and then let's move on to a writer that I think no one's heard of, that no one is interested in. Kamen Rider Den-O.
Oh man!
obviously a huge deal.
16 movies and counting. Boy.
So I'm gonna start with you, Marcos, on this one. Tell me your thoughts. What makes Kamen Rider Den-O important?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, no, man, you go ahead. I'll cover here.
Okay, so Den-O is one of the most character-driven Phase 1 shows, and you can see that from episode 1. You can see that from the opening, where or you see the main character stuck on a tree and a bike, and you say that this is going to be the show. I'm going to sit down and for like the next day and watch this, and the character drivenness from Den-O certainly drives from how good its cast is. Kobayashi, who has written the whole season, it's fantastic characters, fantastic drama that goes along with these characters, and the thing that grabs me the most is how much these characters push themselves, how much they put themselves out there to go through these certain obstacles in life, to go through to go through certain monsters of the week that actually have to do with like how they're feeling and all that. And it's just very emotional, very powerful. I love both of the writers. I love all the Imogen, even the shenanigans that they do. The Imogen, even though you probably know them as being like these funny characters that are in the background, they actually have a lot of emotion to go along with them too in their debuts.
Yeah,
their characters. Yeah, there's the one. Yeah, it absolutely has to be with how much I love the characters. It's one of it's the most standout moments to me, which is why I love Den-O so much.
Definitely, Dustin. Any thoughts on the importance of Den-O?
So when I first was getting into Kamen Rider, the first show I was watching as it was airing was Decade, but the first one I finished as I was waiting for Decade episodes to come out was Den-O. And I completely understand why that show is as much of a powerhouse as it is. The characters are all extremely lovable, and like Marco said, like they all have stuff to them that's more than haha funny Momotaros, you know? Like the stuff with Ryutaros and how he cares so deeply for Ryutaro. Oh God, the older sister.
That gets me.
Yeah. I'll just call him Ryuta from now on because it's just a little bit easier. But like he cares so much about the older sister, but he's also getting himself into major trouble and also getting Ryutaro into so much trouble through all those moments he has. And then the stuff with Kintaros where you think he's gonna be like every other monster of the week, and he ends up being probably one of the coolest like dudes there if he's awake.
Right.
And then everyone just can't stop me being really long by Urotaros and how
that
so
one
slick.
line.
Like his introduction too. Like I love the introduction for each one of these Imogen because of just the situation that Ryutaros gets thrown into. The dude is extremely unlucky. So like if you're ever having a bad day, like Marco said, like throw on Den-O, you're gonna feel a lot better because you're never gonna get stuck in a tree while riding your bicycle and then run over glass and then get mugged for your wallet. Like that's not gonna happen. But watch him go through it, and if he can get through that, then you can get through almost anything too. I bet.
I love Den-O, man. It's just there's a lot of like memorable catchphrases from that show. Yeah. You know, of course Ore Sanjo. You got to put that in there. I like Kintaro. You know, my strength will make you cry. It's like okay, yeah, you know.
he did make me shed a tear towards the later end of that. I was like, no, Kintaro's was gonna make me cry.
Like, oh no, you know. And then you know, I like with Xeranos, I like his opening thing. You know, as like I'll say this to start. You know, I'm pretty strong. You know, Kanari Suyoi. I'm like, dude. Like by the time the show was over, I was saying the catchphrases with them, and I was like, "Yo, it's like being a kid again, man."
That's part of the fun of Den-O too, is that you don't really want it to end, and I'm so glad that our friends at Toei agreed, and then we kept getting more and more crossovers and things like that. And I have to hand it to Den-O though. If it wasn't for some of the bombastic success of that series, I don't know if we would have as many writer crossovers as we have now. Because a lot of people credit the Double Decade crossover as being the first Heisei writer crossover, but no, it was Climax Deca with Den-O and Kiva. So I gotta really appreciate Den-O, and like I had to go grab my writer tissues at the end of Den-O there too.
Yeah, I know. But and of course, for people who haven't seen Heisei Generations Forever, there is a really good scene in it for Den-O. So you definitely
bring these back out. You're gonna need them, boys.
I mean, if you see the trailer, you've already seen a little hint of Den-O walking in the crowd, which that movie, man. Oh yeah, dude, that theme song. The other day, AJ and I, we were in the office, and like I just started humming the song, and I'm like, I don't do that normally. The theme song is good.
The power of Den-O, just
right. And I mean, I love how even in the opening, how they show all the different Ritaros like you know in the cafe at the same time, you know, and they're all so wildly different, man.
There is even like that one episode like where you know they had all of the Taros do like the henshin, and I was like, that's really cool. Like that's new to me, and I enjoy that kind of thing.
I think that whole thing played up to a movie where that whole thing happened again, and like, man, I wish I could be out there when they have these like crossover movies. Where it's like, oh hey, this ties into the TV series, but it isn't the biggest. But if you do see it, it's really cool. Like I want to,
cool.
I want to be there for that.
Man, now I mean, I'm sure this is also probably an obvious answer. Should Den-O be somebody's start into Kamen Rider?
Oh, like as their very first?
Yeah. Like, is this a good start?
It's totally doable. I could totally see that as being one. But the one thing about it is that I think it might be a little bit better if it's like maybe your second or your third. And that's just because as much as I love Den-O and being like, you know, the big bombastic Den-O as it is, it's a lot more fun when you get to know more about the other writers, because then once you actually get into Den-O and then you go further past Den-O and see all the crossover stuff with him, you're just like, oh man, this dude's the best. I love him. Why'd you ever go? Come back, Den-O 2. Right. New Den-O. Do another new Den-O. New.
What do you think, Marcos?
Wow, I'm actually really interested in what Dustin said with that. But I guess I'll go against the grain a little bit on this one. But I think it's probably one of the better Heisei Phase 1 shows to start with, or at least I'll move that towards Kamen Rider to start with. As I think it bridges the gap like almost perfectly between Phase 1 and Phase 2, because it has the drama of Phase 1, but it also has certain little elements that are like the precursor to Phase 2 being they're still like the drama, but there's still also like some fun moments. There are these emotional ties between these characters, and I think I'll definitely say it's a very, very good start. But again, we also have like different interests in what we think should start. But I just think it's a good start.
Right. Now, as a reminder, we do have the DXL available. we have a few of these left. By the way, this thing right here, the pass, I love how every episode he would use it and then he throws it away. And I'm like, is anyone going to just take that? I mean, because like you just threw it like away. Like that always got me every time I saw that.
Surprised we didn't see more weird people on the ventilator after that.
Yeah, like I have a friend who's just like, he just tossed that out. Yeah, it's constant. It's fine.
It just happens that way. It sometimes be that way.
I do want to point out that I do have the belt. It's up there on my wall, but it's a very good belt. I just want to like say, please get that belt. It's really cool. Like I love the past too. Like I just love holding this. It's very, very good. But I can go to like too, so.
Like if you have to go anywhere that requires like security, just use that pass too.
It's Den-O was definitely I definitely enjoyed that ride, and I
see what you did there.
You know, but no, I'm looking forward to watching his part again in the movie this coming Saturday. So, before we go, does anybody have any last thoughts on any of the four riders that maybe you didn't get out today?
I want to say that these four riders, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, and Den-O, are probably some of the most interesting stretch of shows within the whole Phase 1 and Phase 2, because the first two shows are incredibly different. Blade is known for its ending. Hibiki is known to just be different in general. Kabuto plays a little bit more safe, but it's still very unique in what it does with its characters. And Den-O is popular for a reason. Den-O has this fantastic cast, and if you guys are interested at all, if anyone watching, then please, like, I can't recommend Den-O, Kabuto enough. Like any of these shows too, if any of them catch your interest, like they're just so good and very well worth your time. Even watching just an episode or two, very good, very good shows. Thank you.
Nice.
I actually just want to jump on top of that too. These 4 shows, I think it's also a great example of how Kamen Rider as a TV show, like just as a whole, can change over just as simple as 1 year. You can get so much variety out of just a small chunk of time. You can go from like crazy technology to over to magic, or bring it back over to just regular, dude finds a magic belt. Like Rider is really interesting when it changes and constantly changes, and I love seeing how much better it grows each time, because like you can go back and watch the older ones and be like, oh, this was the best, and you find the newer one like, oh no, this is the best.
Yeah, that one's the best.
Ones and be like, no, that one's still the best. So that's another great thing about Rider, is that once you get more and more under your belt, it's gonna be a lot harder to say which one's your favorite.
Well, I mean,
like anytime you guys ask me that question, I can't like ask me to pick kids, y'all. I can't.
It's pretty hard to pick your favorite writer until you watch Gaim, and then it becomes really easy. So,
like,
oh my goodness!
I've gone through like tier lists of these things, and like it's funny to see, like, as people go and watch more and more, they're like, they do get difficult to start picking. You're like, there's so many aspects of each one that you do like. Yeah, and then something like from like Kabuto's like seriousness into like Den-O's playfulness, like it's really fun to just see the transition, and you're like, okay, cool, like I love this character for being that, but this character is really great for this. So
right now,
go ahead.
No, you first. I'll end it. Go ahead.
Okay. The other thing I was going to say is that, like I was mentioning a little bit earlier, it's like there's some things from Kamen Rider where you'll watch a series and you'll see what things stuck that keep moving into all the other ones. So I think one thing that we especially got out of Den-O is like all these different forms and all these other different things we can get out of it, and how far can we push this train, like that kind of idea. And I really appreciate Den-O for being one of those kind of shows, because it's only made these future Rider series get more bigger and bombastic and a little bit crazier with their designs. And man, I love it when shows go crazy. I really do.
Nice. Now, if anybody watched our figure stream yesterday, there was a moment where literally everybody on the stream except for me had the Den-O figure, and it was heartbreaking. I want to inform you all that I have ordered my Den-O, so I will not be left out. It's my third Kamen Rider SHF that I've ever purchased, so it was
that's a good one.
They kept rubbing it in my face too, y'all. I mean, it hurt, but anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining our stream today. As you guys know, we'll be doing this all week. We look forward to talking with you guys about Rider. The next one will be tomorrow, which will be the morning. We're going to be doing a cosplay stream with some guy named TheNextDecade. Who?
Who?
Some guy? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I've met him.
Nice. That guy. We're gonna talk with him about Kamen Rider cosplay, so that should be very fun. And then later in the day, we'll be talking with Toku Nation, Ranger Liz, and Ranger Command about Kiva, Decade, Double, and O's.
Yeah, my two favorite
ones in there. Yeah,
not gonna be there. Catch y'all later. That's okay. That's okay. I'll say like 5 minutes worth of stuff at the end of my thing.
No problem. But yeah, so definitely come back and join us for that. Don't forget, once again, we do have the sales going on, and please, check out the t-shirts, because as you saw in real time, the date has updated, guys. It's no longer a month late. Mine's gonna be here in a couple days, and I best believe I'll be wearing them for the entire rest of the week. So I ordered like 8, so I'll have plenty to choose from.
It's just 8 Gaim shirts.
8 Gaim shirts, all orange.
It's 2 Gaim shirts, 1 black, 1 orange. I didn't go full crazy yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have some more news to tell you about maybe some additional apparel maybe
Ooh.
later this week.
Ooh.
David's
So-
holding out on us.
I am.
Come
I
on,
definitely
Decade
am.
tracksuit. Come on, Decade tracksuit. Give me that Decade tracksuit. I need it.
I will. The one P
Oh,
Bandai has.
Yes, give it to me.
Yeah.
Like I would give it small. I'll still wear it. I had to sleep to here. I'll still wear
I'll
it.
put it on the list. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Hope you had a great time, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, have a good day, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.